Did you see the Project Veritas video of the Bernie Sanders campaign manager talking about violent riots? Did you guys see this? Did you see that, sir? Does this concern you at all? So you're just not going to talk to me like a 12-year-old? You're just going to walk away? Like are you that immature? Don't you think that's a big issue for the Democrat Party? So that's it? That's all you have to say about a violent socialist in the Bernie Sanders campaign? Do you disavow violent terrorism? What about Bob Kramer and Aaron Black? Donald Trump's never been caught on film or any of his campaign funding illegal immigration like Beto. So you can't even comment on the Project Veritas video. You run away? Is that funny, Keith? Is political terrorism funny, Keith? So you're not going to comment, huh? So another coward Democrat that runs from media can't answer a single question and then says, oh, but what about Trump? Pathetic. Your party's dead, Keith. How does that make you feel? The Democrat Party's going to die on your watch, Keith. One more chance. Do you disavow political terrorism in the Democrat Party? There he goes. It's real funny. He's laughing. It's not going to be so funny when Trump wins again.
The nomination, it goes to the second round at the DNC convention. Milwaukee, word. It'll start in Milwaukee, and then when the police push back on that, in other cities, it will.
Germany had to spend billions of dollars re-educating fucking people to not be Nazis.
Yeah.
Like, we're probably going to have to do the same thing here. And that's kind of what Bernie's like, hey, free education for everybody, because we're going to have to teach you not to be a Nazi.
By alchemy, we're now the bad guys, according to this guy, and he has the right to, oh, we're going to put these Nazis in camps. We're going to kill some of them, too. We're going to kill the cops. Oh, but camps aren't bad. Camps are really good places. Stalin was a really nice guy. Documents detail plan for civil unrest and martial law in Baltimore, triggering race war by George Soros. Read it for yourself. Leaked Army documents outlines plan for re-education camps in America. There is the actual document, FM 3-39.40. So Project Veritas is set to release videos of Bernie campaign managers over their areas spouting 100% weatherman, communist, re-education camp, overthrow of America, put the white males, because they're Nazis, and you got to kill a Nazi. That means if you don't submit to whatever their communist demands are, free tuition, free health care, free transportation, free to the whole world, knowing that'll bankrupt the nation. If you don't submit to their list of demands, then you're a Nazi, and, well, we kill Nazis. And what this individual and other individuals on these tapes are saying is exactly what the weathermen, it turned out, in federal court were planning. And it's exactly what Bernie Sanders went to the Soviet Union and praised what was going over there, and who went to Venezuela and praised what Hugo Chavez was doing. And we now know that they have re-education camps in Venezuela. And he just talks about it like it's a fun thing. It's a good thing. Well, look at these documents that InfoWars exclusively got that I keep harping on. Last January, documents to tell plan for civil unrest and martial law in Baltimore, using racial strife triggered by Antifa and the media hyping up police shootings. An action plan. Friends of Democracy, headed up by Alexander Soros. Same year, leaked U.S. Army document outlines plan for re-education camps in America. And here is the document. People didn't believe it was real. Later, the Army admitted it was real. This is what Obama told them to prepare. FM 3-39.40. Now, that said, let's play the clip of this Bernie operative that Veritas just released, full video about to be released, talking about the exact textbook, word for word, chapter and verse plan for America. Here it is.
So if Trump gets reelected, what?
Cities burn.
Viewer
Do you
discretion
think that some
advised.
of these, like, MAGA people could even be re-educated?
I mean, we got to try. I mean, like in Nazi Germany, after the fall of the Nazi Party, there was a shit ton of the populace that was Nazified. I mean, like, Germany had to spend billions of dollars re-educating fucking people to not be Nazis. Like, we're probably going to have to do the same thing here. And that's kind of what Bernie's like, hey, free education for everybody, because we're going to have to teach you not to be a Nazi. There's a reason Joseph Stalin had gulags, right? Mm-hmm. And actually, gulags were a lot better than what the CIA has told us that they were. Like, people were actually paid a living wage in gulags. They had conjugal visits in gulags. Gulags were actually meant for re-education. The greatest way to break a billionaire of their privilege and their idea that they're superior, go out and break rocks for 12 hours a day. You're now a working class person, and you're gonna learn what that means, right?
Bernie doesn't get the nomination, or it goes to the second round at the DNC convention. Milwaukee would burn. It'll start in Milwaukee, and then when the police push back on that, and other cities it will.
And if your speech is calling for the elimination of people based on race or gender or religious, for whatever reason, things that people can't change, then you should expect a violent reaction. Mm-hmm. And you deserve a violent reaction.
Be ready to be in Milwaukee for the DNC convention. We're going to make 1978 look like a Girl Scout cookout. The cops are going to be the ones that are getting beaten in Milwaukee.
And they want it to start at the DNC and then spread across the country. That's the real plan. And that's what Alexander Soros and Friends of Democracy documents we got when a family member found these in the individual's home and sent it to us. And it calls for the criminal activity to trigger a race war and work with the media to get that going. All I can say is thank God for the Second Amendment. If that little dirty, stinking rat thinks he's going to put me or my family in a slave camp that's so wonderful, he's got another thing coming. Because like he said, gulags aren't that bad. And, well, people like him come to take our guns and put us in a camp. I guess having a bunch of bullets in his little scrawny ass ain't that bad either, is it? And I'm not threatening that punk. He's threatening America and the world for criminal, terrorist violence they want to carry out. So if you feel froggy, punk, go ahead. And I'm going to be in Milwaukee at the DNC, and I'm going to be at the RNC, and I'm going to be in D.C. this week, and I'm going to be there next week when they try to remove our president from office in the Senate trial. Let's go to Larry Grathwold from the grave, the Green Beret that infiltrated the Weather Underground, and what he said they were talking about in those meetings. Larry Grathwold, again, a member of the Weather Underground organization, is undercover operative for law enforcement agencies in Cincinnati. His role with the organization was to carry directives from the Central Committee to the operating units of the field.
I brought up the subject of what's going to happen after we take over the government. We become responsible then for administrating, 250 million people. And there was no answers. No one had given any thought to economics. How are you going to clothe and feed these people? The only thing that I could get was that they expected that the Cubans and the North Vietnamese and the Chinese and the Russians would all want to occupy different portions of the United States. They also believed that their immediate responsibility would be to protect against what they called the counter-revolution. And they felt that this counter-revolution could best be guarded against by creating and establishing re-education centers in the Southwest, where we would take all the people who needed to be re-educated into the new way of thinking and teach them how things were going to be. I ask, well, what is going to happen to those people that we can't re-educate, that are die-hard capitalists? And the reply was that they'd have to be eliminated. And when I pursued this further, they estimated that they would have to eliminate 25 million people in these re-education centers. And when I say eliminate, I mean kill. 25 million people. I want you to imagine sitting in a room with 25 people, most of which have graduate degrees from Columbia, all the people who needed to be re-educated into the new way of thinking and teach them how things were going to be. I ask, well, what is going to happen to those people that we can't re-educate, that are die-hard capitalists? And the reply was that they'd have to be eliminated. And when I pursued this further, they estimated that they would have to eliminate 25 million people in these re-education centers. And when I say eliminate, I mean kill. 25 million people. I want you to imagine sitting in a room with 25 people, most of which have graduate degrees from Columbia and other well-known educational centers, and hear them figuring out the logistics for the elimination of 25 million people. And they were dead serious.
Larry Grathwohl was a frequent guest over the years. He died a few years ago. His daughter's a patriot, lives out in San Francisco, and we should get her back on as a guest. But then Obama put it into military code. I showed you last segment, the official Army manual. We got it from the Army. Fort Hood folks sent it to us. And for about a month, the media said we made it up. And that's why they're always demonizing us, is they know we'll put this stuff out. Not the Army that's bad. The Army doesn't want to do this. The police don't want to do this. They're being put in that position. And now that Obama's out and he can't have the executive coordinating with the Justice Department and Soros try to cause this by creating race war. That's why you see all the Hollywood movies about white racists being everywhere and about huge explosions and cities burning down. It's because that's the globalist hope, is to have the country and the stock market collapse so Soros can buy it all up with other globalists. And then people that don't submit, they get put in re-education camps. But it won't be billionaires. It's the majority of the elite billionaires that are offshore running the scam. Jeff Bezos is for higher taxes on the middle class. He just doesn't pay any taxes. And again, Jeff Bezos, really of the whole crew, is one of the more pro-American ones. At least he builds something here. Tim Cook, Apple, all these guys are aggressive, incredibly selfish, worldly, evil people that basically run their Apple factories like death camps with forced abortions, forced drugging, 18-hour work days when they've got special quotas. The children put in total squalor facilities, no environmental standards. But you hear the little pothead, it's what he looks like to me, bum who goes to the community college and is taught how to hate America through the big foundations at the government facility. You can't even understand that that's the globalists putting poison into our veins to get rid of the American system because they don't want other people in the world wanting freedom. And our system compared to other systems is the gold standard, the platinum standard, the ethereal standard of what we were going for. This is the place that empowered women. This is the place, started in England, banning slavery worldwide. This is the place that took on Hitler. But see, then by alchemy, we're now the bad guys, according to this guy, and he has the right to, oh, we're going to put these Nazis in camps. We're going to kill some of them, too. We're going to kill the cops. Oh, but camps aren't bad. Camps are really good places. Stalin was a really nice guy. And he'd airbrush people out of newspaper articles and photos after he had them killed. then they demonize who they were. Just like they do now. They make my identity Sandy Hook because the public questioned that, and then I questioned it, and they said, oh, you hurt our feelings to say you think it happened. I'm like, no, I think it probably happened, but governments have been caught staging stuff before, so people saw a lot of signs of that. That's my right. And as soon as I said, yeah, some of those anomalies aren't correct, boom, that's my identity. And people are like, Alex, you need to really stop going after the families and talking about it every day, when it's the media making it my identity and publishing the twisted false statements I never even said in my name as a propaganda vehicle to not make it about the hundreds and hundreds of stories we put out that were game-changing and truthful, and that our main aim is to question everything, and that we've been so successful thanks to you, they can change the narrative to I'm a guy that bullies dead kids. People don't know who Adam Lanza is who killed those kids now. People think I killed them. It's like, it's the guy, the Sandy Hook kids. That's how dumbed down they've gotten some of the public. The public still thinking sees right through that, but it's scary how they operate. And they do it over and over and over again. That's why they call Trump the racist that said he hates all Mexicans and Mexicans are all criminals. Never said any such thing. But they make that his identity, and a lie makes it halfway around the world before the truth puts its pants on, to quote Mark Twain. And these liars, they just love to twist and love to deceive, but the fact that they are such deceivers is coming out, and people know ABC News cropped footage at a gun range and said that 10-foot tall explosions of gas cans getting shot by machine guns were 4,000-foot tall red mushroom clouds of a whole town and whole city being vaporized by Trump allowing the Turks to do it. And they knew what it was. They went and got the Knob Creek, Kentucky footage. They cropped it. They blew it up. Look at the stunning mushroom clouds as the town is destroyed. 1,000-foot flames pour into the night sky as Trump allows the savage mass killing. That's consciously lying. And now they're talking about how they want to put us in the re-education camps. And that's what's taught. Colleges are open-air bullying re-education camps. That's what re-education camps are. Abusing some people, not abusing others, publicly executing some. Those that turn against you are praised. It's all a giant peer pressure nightmare middle school where you can get killed if you don't obey. And where you do forced labor all day, but if you grovel to the system, well, then you can be invited into the little communist professor's office and give him a blowjob. That's what it is to live under a communist system and be a slave. And China today has millions of Muslims in death camps who did nothing wrong. Oh, but the left likes that and fetishizes the little dirty rats that work for Bernie Sanders, how they're going to go and run things like a commissar in China. The scum that burns down the society and lets the communists take over are always the first to be lined up and shot by the communists. They don't leave little rats like that around. That guy never gets to run anything or have any power. He gets taken out to a field and shot in the back of the head, and then other people shovel him in and hope they're not next. You know, those are the rats that'll be out there in the dark of the night with their gas cans burning things down, saying, we're overthrowing the Nazis. We're overthrowing the Nazis. Kill the pigs. I mean, you heard them. We're going to be killing the police. And all Bernie Sanders is good at is swindling banks and swindling colleges and hiring up to 20 members of his family to all just swindle and then buy expensive, $100,000 sports cars and live in multi-million-dollar vacation homes and fly around on private jets.
But he does this and talks about how bad white people are all day, so it's okay.
Let's play that clip on the break, though, of Hillary talking about the fun camps for men. Because it's a manual from the Weathermen and from the Bernie Sanders people and all of them. This is what they've done everywhere else, and this is what they want to do to us. And they've got your children in school right now, brainwashing them and teaching them they're another sex and taking your parental rights away and sterilizing children. These are abusive tyrants that know old forms of tyranny have been outlawed, so they invent new ones. Oh, it's your son's right at age 5 to have his testicles chopped off. We convinced him it's cool, and he knows best. We're not perverts. We're not criminals. We're not monsters. No, your child wants to be maimed.
President Trump gives every indication by what he says and what he does and what he doesn't do that he's mean as a wolverine.
It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
But they took a lot of people away. People that they thought were going to make trouble for them. People that had guns or things they wanted, they just took them away.
Where?
Re-education camps, that's what they call it.
So part of it is we have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families and recognize that kids belong to whole communities.
I have decided we really need camps for adults. And we need the kind of camps that you all run. I mean, really.
All persons of Japanese descent were required to register. Now they were taken to racetracks and fairgrounds where the Army almost overnight had built assembly centers.
I'm a sovereign citizen. I refuse to recognize you guys.
What kind of a situation in the U.S. would you see that happening?
I mean, we've got a lot of constitutionalists, a lot of people that stockpile weapons.
Plus, you have a lot of people that are coming out of the military that have the ability and the knowledge to build IEDs and to defeat law enforcement techniques.